My name is Jen Cushman. I am an empathic intuitive. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I am a student of Huna, and next month I will be going to Hawaii, returning for my level 2 training, and I'm so excited about that. It's ancient Hawaiian shamanism. It really is a energetic and spiritual training and way of life to be calm and centered and Pono aligned. I really love this training. So that's my next training I'm doing because you guys know I love trainings and continuous growth. So I am doing that. And I'm also NLP and MER and all the other things. So hi, Vicki. Hi, Beth. So happy you guys are on. So that is awesome. Okay, you guys. So for today's topic, I really was thinking about something. I was at an event this last weekend. It was a beer event. My husband is a beer brewer. It's his artisan way of doing things. He loves to do artisan beer brews. And so our friends own a brewery that he is the head brewer at. And so we were out at a beer festival yesterday and then a brewer's breakfast. Okay. So we were just having fun. I actually don't drink. I'm actually allergic to alcohol. I know that sounds strange, but I am. I can only have a very tiny little bit of it. But I was just out having fun. We were down in Phoenix and the weather was absolutely beautiful. And as I was just kind of around and out and about people, I was just listening. I was people watching and I was listening and I was looking at a lot of things that were going on. And something really clicked into place and it just kind of, I don't know, it just lit that fire in me. And what happened, I was just kind of walking, I was listening and I was sitting in the shade around a group of people and they were really just going on and on and on about just negativity. Like they were just having conversations and everything they were talking about was just so negative. And they were talking about a reality that is often given in our news media. So, the reality about the economy, the reality about danger, all of this kind of stuff and just this whole mentality of really fear. That's what it was. It was a fear-based conversation and it was really about this fear and the choices they were making and the thoughts they were thinking and the things they were speaking. It just had me really sad. Truthfully, it had me really sad because I talk to you guys on Magic Mondays a lot and I talk about perception is projection or perception is interpretation. And what that means is the way we view the world is also the energy we put out into the world. I know you guys have heard me say this almost every single Magic Monday. And so if we are consuming, if we are taking in information that is negative or false or fear-based and all those things, then that is what we are putting in our 126 bits. That's what we're getting. Remember, I'm going to tell you again that we get 2 million bits of information every single second. It goes into our unconscious mind that understands and captures all of it. Our unconscious mind processes fast like a supercomputer. And then our conscious mind is able to pick up 126 bits. It filters, it deletes, it distorts, and it generalizes the rest of those bits. It literally just kind of puts them out there so we can grab the 126 that we are supposed to be focusing on or that we want to focus on, right? That's what we can do something about. So if we are out there and we're listening to the news or we're listening to stuff that is not enlightening or helpful for us, then the 126 bits that we're grabbing are not going to be in our highest and best good. Okay. So that got me to thinking. I actually had to leave. I just had to go, get some water and walk away and let them have their experience because it's not my experience and that's the experience they want to have. So let them have their experience, right? So I just kind of walked away and found a sunny spot and a happy place and, had my water and moved on. And as I was sitting there throughout the day, it got me to thinking about something that's very common in our world. And it is really has to do with marketing, and it is really fear-based marketing, and it is fear-based messaging. And today, I just wanted to be on fire. So I talked to my guides and angels, and I was like, you guys, I want to be on fire. I want to light this up today. I just want to dispel some of these myths, and I just want to kick this stuff out because my community, our community, you guys are a community of light workers and lovers and empaths and way showers and empowered human beings, or at least you want to be. You know, you're working and striving to be that, because if you weren't that, you wouldn't be hanging out with me on Mondays, right? So, one of the things that I hear again and again and again, and I could be sensitive, I'm going to just tell you right now that I could be a little sensitive to this, because ever since I hit 50, as a woman, you hit that 50 mark and you get into the 50s, there's a lot of messaging that comes in about how we no longer have our youth, right? So there's a lot of products that want to sell us, you know, hair things and surgeries and all these other things to try to have us redeem our youth, because youth is what's important, right? So there's all that kind of stuff. So I can't begin to tell you the amount of messaging I get of products to buy or creams to try, or, you know, new makeup or new things to do, because what it is insinuating is that because I am getting older as a woman, I am beginning less healthy. I am becoming less attractive. I am, you know, I am losing my youth and all those other kind of things. So those ads are very much targeted to me, and they're targeted to my insecurities, is what that is. And so a lot of marketing, a lot of things we're out there and we're reading, they are targeting to our insecurities. And I think it's really important that we're aware of that. Okay. So that's my first message. The second thing that I'm really on fire about is there's this notion in personal growth and development that, you know, we are constantly trying to fix ourselves. Now, fix, and I'm going to use those in air quotes, fix ourselves. I've really come to decide I don't like that word, okay? And it's a trigger for me. And I'm just going to admit it right now that I think as human beings, we don't need to be fixed, okay? We can always grow, we can always change, we can always learn, we can up level, we can improve. But the reality is, as far as fixing anything, we don't need to fix anything. We really are perfect as we are. That's the message I really want you to know. You are perfect as you are now, today. Okay. I'm even getting teary eyed. It's like I can feel the energy rising in me, because it's so important for me to get this message out to you, because it was such an important message that I had to learn about myself. You know, I'm really interested in personal growth and development. I like changing and growing. I like working on mindset. I like reading books that are about these kind of things. You know, I don't read fiction anymore. I always read nonfiction. And yet, there is nothing inherently wrong with me. I am always doing the very best I can with the information I have at the time. And I have flexibility and curiosity, and I have the power to learn a new piece of information and change and pivot and decide if I want to have a new perspective. Okay? The choices I make today in the moment and now doesn't always have to be my choices. I have the ability to pivot. I have the ability to change. I have the ability to learn something new. Okay? So that's just what I really want you to know. It's like this message today is you are not broken. There is nothing about you that is broken. Okay? You are perfect as you are. And we all have stuff, right? We all have conditioning, programming, cultural, I'm trying to think, I wrote it all down, but it's like, well, I call it programming, conditioning, and it really is just kind of stuff that comes from the way we were raised. It comes from our cultural influences. It comes from our family, you know, the messages we were giving as children when we went to grade school, you know, all the ways that we were raised, we have these messages that came into us. And when we were younger, when we were in our child mind and we had adults that were around us who we loved, who were responsible for taking care of us, they would make statements to us and we just accepted them as truth. Now, some of those statements were really, really true, and other of those statements were limiting beliefs, and it was passed down from them. So it was a little bit of gunk, okay? So when I say that we're perfect, we are perfect. And we all have stuff. We just have things in there. And as we grow and we change and we learn things and we get better, you know, that saying that I love about know better, do better, you know, that's kind of one of my favorite sayings as well. So as we learn and we grow, then we get the opportunity to change who we are. We get to figure out new ways of being. We get to figure out new strategies for ourselves. And that is really, really, really cool. Okay. So that is what personal growth and development about in my book. It is about making sure that what we are bringing in, the information we're giving ourselves, the things that we are watching, the stuff that we're consuming on the news or social media or anything else, that is actually for our highest good. Okay. It's not just to sell a product. It's not just to sell a service. It's just not to sell another course to put money in somebody else's pocket. It's great when you're putting money in your pocket. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people out there in the spiritual growth community, personal growth and development community who have done a lot of training, a lot of research, a lot of time and effort to be of service for the highest good. And they're putting it out there and they put, we pay for it and it's good. The messaging is good. And then there's a lot of stuff out there that has hidden messages and meanings where all they're trying to do is they're just trying to make us feel inferior, give us fears, touch on our core wounds, all of those kind of things that make us spend our money so we can fix and be better. Okay? So that's that message. So the other thing, I'm looking down at my notes. So the other thing I really, really wanted to tell you is that the way to really change, to really, really up level and grow and really become that calm, centered, aligned, on purpose that you want to be, which I don't know if you want to be it. That's a mind read. I'm assuming that you want to be calm, centered, and grounded because I want to be calm, centered, and grounded. If you don't want it, that's fine. Remember, like everything else I say, take what resonates with you, let go of what doesn't. And if you are looking to be that calm, centered, grounded person who is really living each day with passion and purpose and really happiness and joy, then the one thing that will get us there, okay, it really will, is awareness and a personal responsibility. So that is a hard truth, my friend. It can be a very unpopular opinion. And the reality is that when we can accept personal responsibility for our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, our actions, our mindset, then we can be in control of our experience. When we blame others, right? When something happens to us and we blame the other person, or we hang on to old hurts because of something that happened to us and we continue to blame them, we are abdicating our responsibility and we are giving our power away. So the way we stay in our power is by accepting responsibility for our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions. Now, what I do want to tell you is there is a big difference between accepting personal responsibility and accepting the things that have happened to us that are unfair and accepting the trauma. So there are a lot of us, okay? A lot of us around here who have had traumatic experiences from your childhood or other unfortunate experiences. And they happened to you and they were unfortunate. And they happened to me and they were unfortunate. Now, I don't have to accept the responsibility of the terrible as if it were my fault, right? So I don't have to accept the blame of it, the fault of it. I just need to accept responsibility that I was present and that I was there. And on some level, there are choices and decisions that were made from it, okay? That's the really important thing about it. When I work with people with forgiveness work, a lot of times it's really hard for them to do forgiveness work of the people who hurt them the most. And one of the things I have to say is you are not forgiving the action, you are forgiving the person. And really what you're forgiving is you're forgiving yourself and you're forgiving the energy. You're letting go of the old negative emotions that are part of it. So that's what personal responsibility means as well. It means that we just don't point fingers at anybody else. You know that old saying about two fingers pointing that way means, or one finger pointing in front of you means two fingers pointing back at you. So it's a really tricky thing, okay? Because we need to accept personal responsibility for our actions and be at cause, and yet we need to do it in a way that is total self-compassion and self-loving. in a way that doesn't create or perpetuate shame and guilt. Now, I have to tell you guys, in my childhood, I was raised by guilt, right? I had a mama who was taught by another mama, who was taught by another mama, and another mama to just bring that guilt in. So when I did something that she didn't like, you know what I mean, or something that wasn't acceptable, the guilt came in and the shame came in. And so for me, those are big triggers by me. And I've really had to do the shadow work, and I've had to learn and love myself and be self-compassionate with myself to make sure that when I accept personal responsibility for my actions, I'm not bringing shame and guilt into who I am. Okay? So knowing who I am, being at cause, and accepting responsibility, 100% cause and responsibility, in a way that is still loving and kind and compassionate to myself. Okay? And that is a tricky, tricky thing, my friends. Very, very tricky to do. Okay? Okay. So, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well is just, it's really, I've heard this terminology and I love it. It's called conscious ownership. So, accepting responsibility, personal responsibility for things or being at cause is also called conscious ownership. And I really love that because one of the things I decided as a parent, I was going to do conscious parenting. So that is, I learned about it. I did a lot of it. I do a lot of talking. We work through a lot of things as conscious parenting. I try very hard not to just run my programming and my way of being from the way I was taught, right? So, and I have to tell you, I was taught amazing things from my mother, and I was also taught some really disempowering things from my mother, okay? I'm sure with my children, I'm teaching them some very empowering things, and I'm sure I've got limiting beliefs and disempowerment thoughts going on there because I am human. And the difference is conscious parenting, conscious responsibility, okay? So conscious ownership. I just want you to take that thought and top it in the back of your head and just conscious ownership. It just means that whatever is going on with you, your experience of what you have is conscious ownership, okay? And the other thing is that there is it is actually also called, let me see, I wrote it down, MBEI, and I love it, MBEI, which is also mindfulness-based emotional intelligence. Now, I was talking to you guys a couple of Magic Mondays ago about EQ, or emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, and how to make sure that we do a better job with that, with some tips and tricks on it. So this is mindfulness-based emotional intelligence, which is just having mindfulness techniques, awareness, and presence as we are living and doing our lives and figuring out how to be consciously aware and conscious ownership of ourselves and our actions. Okay? So let me look down right now. I just want to say that when we embrace the responsibility, this is my notes, when we embrace the responsibility for the choices we make, we discover authenticity and empowerment, right? And it is real personal freedom. Plus, we can get so profound with self-compassion. We can have such profound results. And the results of all of this, because I really want to calibrate on results, that is an important part of the work I do with neuro-linguistic programming and mental emotional release and hypnotherapy, is to calibrate on the results. So we can do all of these things, we can practice all of this, but if you're not getting results, it means there is something going on. It means you need to look at your strategy, you need to look at what's happening, in terms of programming, if there's blockages, if there's gunk. If you are getting the results that you want, then you are doing your personal growth and development in a way that is serving you. So the results of all of this is that you get to create effective boundaries for yourself and you get to hold them. So when you are doing this work, boundaries are so incredibly important, and you can effectively create boundaries and hold boundaries. And when you can do that, that is going to give you freedom, right? And calm, centered living, freedom in any situation. So when you know who you are, you know what your non-negotiables are, you can set and create your boundaries for yourself, and you can express them in a way that is clear and consistent. You create authenticity and personal freedom for yourself. And that is an amazing thing, my friends. You can speak your truth with power, because when you don't have all that gunk in there, you just say it. And when you just say it, you're saying it in your power, and you are so clear that everybody else just kind of turns around and is like, whoa. They see it and they feel it. They feel the clarity, and it's amazing. It is an amazing experience. You also prevent harm to yourself when you can do this, and to your others. And then here's the thing I really love that I wanted to talk to you about this today is that you promote health, healing, wholeness, wellness for yourself, and therefore for others. Because when you live it in yourself, right, you project it outward. Others feel it, they see it, and then they can model it. So, the answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind. My answer is blowing in the wind. It really, really is. It really is about understanding that there are old systems in this world that need to break down. Racism, sexism, violence against women, violence against children, violence against animals, anything that actually takes another human being and incarcerates them in some way that keeps them from living their authenticity and their freedom are old power structure systems. And the age of Aquarius, here I'm going to get woo on you, right? This age of Aquarius, as we are moving into this age where it is about creativity, responsibility, understanding the mind, body, soul connection, returning to those ancient knowledge, those ancient ways of being, yet with our new technology and our new knowledge. It is really about ensuring that human beings are able to be who they are supposed to be, live the dreams they want to do, and that we support, love each other, and have compassion for each other. And so one of the things is we are in the middle of this right now. We chose to incarnate and be here now. Be here now so we can be light workers. And when that fear-based stuff comes in, we need to do the very best job we can to allow the fear to dissipate. Understand that at our core, I do believe human beings want to be good. I believe in the goodness of human beings. I believe that pain creates the coping strategies and the ways of being that are not healthy. And I believe that personal empowerment and freedom and authenticity and love and joy is the answer to the new age of Aquarius. And I just wanted to come out with that today because I wanted you guys to feel how strongly I believe in this and how much I just am taking a stand for it. And I'm lit up and fired up about it. And I just want you to know that you can do this. You are not broken. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are growing. You are changing. You are developing. You are lovely. You are loved and loved in all ways. And you matter. And what we think, what we say, what we do, what we consume, how we put ourselves out in the world, how we choose to shine our light or dim our light, it all matters. Okay? Okay. Whew, that was on a roll. I got on a roll, right? I just got on a roll. Let me see. Let me just look at my notes really quick. Okay. Oh, okay. I have one more thing I want to do with you guys, and we'll do that. So, yep. So I wrote down, if we move beyond the fear-based coping strategies, we can be in our journey, we can live our highest purpose, and we can become unstoppable forces for good. Okay, that's what I wrote. And then here's my little exercise today, you guys. And I want you to, I really would love for you to say this. And I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to pull cards, okay? I thought it'd be fun for us to do a little exercise together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on my heart. I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'm going to say a statement. And I would love it. I would absolutely love it if you would say the statement after me. Now, for my people on here that are NLP friends of mine, this exercise does include a not statement. And I do want to pre-frame this. I want to tell you that what it does when it includes a not statement, our unconscious minds don't process double negatives or process negatives. So when it hears a not, it actually takes it as truth, the way it is. I've got a couple of statements in here that are not statements, and I'm going to reframe them so they are not statements, okay? But I just want to put that in there. And so the reason why is what we're going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about affirmations in another Magic Monday, and I'm going to talk more about the knot. But for today, as a tool and a technique, I'm actually going to utilize the knot, and then I'm going to change the knot. Okay? Okay. So now let's get back to the exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my left hand on my heart because it's my feminine. And then if you want, you can put your right hand over top of it because it's your masculine. And we all have feminine and masculine in us, and we all need to have both sides of it. We need to have our flowy, lovey, intuition and nurturing side, and we need our masculine side, which is structure and order and boundaries and strength. And because we need to have both of those so we can live a very integrated going forward life. So left hand on your heart, right hand over it, big deep breath, and I'm going to make a statement. Okay, ready? So if you want to make the statement, and you can do it after me, and then just feel how it feels in your body. You guys are feelers, okay? So, sensitive. We all have our sensitivity. Some of you may hear it, some of you may see it, some may feel it, some may just have a knowing out of it. It doesn't matter. However you experience is the perfect experience for you today, okay? So big deep breath in, first statement. There is nothing wrong with me. Say it and feel it. Okay, another deep breath. Ready? I am not broken. Not statement. Here we go. I am perfect exactly as I am. Breath. I don't need fixing. Oh, that was fun to say. I'm going to say that one again. Ready? I don't need fixing. I am good and whole exactly as I am. Last one. Say it with me. I have a purpose. My life has meaning and purpose. Woo! Everything inside of me, my whole body is just tingling. I hope that's good. You guys, let me know how it felt to say those things. I will go back and I will actually put these statements on my page and in my social media so you can actually have them for reference if you want. But let me know how that felt. I thought that felt amazing. Okay, my whole body literally feels just light and airy and full of love. So, okay, awesome. Hard for some of them, Laura. It is. So, you guys, Laura, thank you so much. I so appreciate you saying those statements. So, here's what I want you to know. If you are saying any of these statements and they are difficult for you, that is emotional baggage, right? That is shadow work. That is gunk that is in there that still comes from somewhere back, mostly in your childhood, right? From there and different ways, the ways you were taught. Again, that's the adults that were around you that were well-meaning. They were good, okay? They were doing the very best they could with the resources they had at the time. And in our past, we have been raised by some people who had had some very hard lives and some hard experiences. And we might have got some gunk. We might have got some limiting beliefs. We might have got some core wounds. We might have got some things that are hard, and that we still today at 50 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old, 80 years old, we may still believe them. But that is why this work is so important, because when we can release them, Laura, we can train ourselves with awareness and presence, and we can start saying these statements with truth and authenticity. And if you can't say them right now, it's okay. You are perfect exactly as you are, Laura, and exactly where you are. And it's just an opportunity for growth, right? It's an opportunity to continue to up level if you so choose to. Because remember, empowerment means you always, always have choice. You are always at choice. You are always at cause, and you are never a victim, because there is always an opportunity, a thought, a belief that you can do that can be empowering and good for you. Okay? Okay, awesome. Laura, thank you so much for allowing me to say that. I so appreciate that. Okay, yes. Laura, I love that. You guys, I'm going to say that one right now. So for any of you that these were hard for you, any of them that they were hard, here's the last one. This comes from Laura. This is how I come. I love our community, and I love when you guys give me back what you need. So we're going to say this one. Ready? Deep breath in. I am a work in progress. I am a work in progress. Okay? So if any of them that were difficult for you, just say, I am a work in progress. And if you can do that, you're on your way.